Well, small businesses with an income exceeding R1 million must register for value-added tax. How does a VAT increase affect SMMEs? Well, SMME expert and CEO of 2020 Insight, Karabo Mashugane, joins us now to unpack that. Thank you so much, Karabo, for your time this evening. So it's kicked in. We had the SARS commissioner here saying that they are fully ready. Do you think the small business sector is ready for this increase?
Look, I think there's going to be some problems in terms of the transition, especially with regards to items that you started working on them, but you haven't built on them yet, because there's allowance for billing on the part that was worked on or that was sort of delivered before the VAT increase at the previous VAT rate, and then what is delivered so there's going to be some administrative initially, some pains, but I think, look, that will be transitory to a large extent. The biggest impact that you will have on small businesses is really, you're taking 23 billion out of the economy essentially, and with regards to that reducing demand, I think that will hit them hard.
Okay.
But also to the extent of also increasing their cost base, because SMMEs also themselves, even the ones that are registered for VAT as VAT vendors, a big part of the expenditure is still, you cannot claim some of the VAT back.
Gosh,
and I think that's where you will see an increase in their cost base. And they're at the biggest disadvantage because they normally have very low pricing power.
Yeah.
And so you will see a shrinking in their profitability, but it's not all lost.
So I imagine cash flow management at this time is going to be very critical.
It is critical, but what is, from a macro perspective, from a country perspective, what is more important, I think, is for us to increase demand for small business services. We've got in the private sector for corporates as well as for government a 30% target with regards to procurement from small businesses. We need to increase that. We need to see that moving towards your 60% even for us to really start seeing real economic growth and the reduction in the unemployment rate.
Yeah.
So I think more than trying to help them with, there's a lot of funding that is available for small businesses. The Treasury itself announced a 2.1 billion rand SME development fund, and there's a lot of private funds that are coming into the market also. So the funding is there, but you need the markets to make those SMMEs fundable and to make them viable. So we need more to focus on creating demand for small businesses.
Are we even meeting the 30% target for procurement?
In a lot of instances, corporates struggle, even government struggles, and a lot of times what happens is that governments will issue a contract, say a contract for 100 million rand, but they'll issue it to a large corporate and then say the corporate must use small businesses in because the administration of that is quite costly, and so businesses, even in the private sector, I think struggle, and they prefer to give smaller ticket items to small businesses. And so what we need, though, is a focus, is a recognition that we need to give SMMEs opportunities that outstrip their current capacity, and then use the funding that is available to then capacitate them to deliver efficiently on those.
And how do you achieve that? I mean, we sit with so many institutions right now and programs purporting to be doing some of that. Do we need greater coordination?
Well, it's greater coordination, but it's also a shift in focus. I think traditionally, incubators and enterprise development programs are focused more on providing training, for example, which is good, but I think that we have quite a lot of management institutions, management training institutions, your universities and things where entrepreneurs can go to register and study at night, study during the weekend, instead of spending their time during the day when they should be chasing business, getting that. So I think the focus needs to be more on getting market access, so those funds helping to get market access for small businesses, as well as then funding these guys to capacitate them to get that and helping them build solid management teams, So giving them some working capital, giving them funds to be able to access infrastructure. And then, but it starts with the markets. We have to provide markets for small businesses.
Absolutely.